debut as a writer with, well, a rather unusual relationship handbook. Clare Staples believes that to understand men, you have to sort of train them a bit, just like dogs. It's everything I know about men I learnt from my dog, by Clare Staples. Clare, it's a hoot. It's very funny. It's lovely to see you. Very, very funny. And I like the way you've done it. You've done on one page, it tells you all about the dogs, and on the other page, it shows you how, you know, how it's sort of can relate to men. This idea came from the creator, well, the two of you, the creator of Sex and the City,
That's
didn't it?
right, yes. We were on a flight back from London to New York, and I think she had just split up with a boyfriend, and so had I, so we were putting the world to rights. Okay. And, you know,
yes.
I think half the men in upper class moved as a result. I think they were, like, slightly frightened.
There she is. There's Candice Bushell,
yes,
who's responsible for Sex and the City.
Yes.
So the two of you were just having a chat.
Yeah.
And how did you get on to sort of comparing boys with dogs?
Well, I had just got my Great Dane, Mr. Big.
There he is. Hi, Mr. Big.
I had realised when I'd go to the park with him, to begin with, I was so frightened that he was going to run off. I'd sort of follow him around the park, calling him and being really panicky and being very fearful that he'd run off. And one day, I think it was raining and I was tired, and I just turned and walked off, and he came running after me, and I brought that up as sort of, it's just like men. You know, when you chase after them, they have no idea why, they run away. I think both dogs and men can smell fear and desperation, and they don't like it.
It is strange. I mean, it actually is quite an eye-opener, because many of the things that you say, you know, it's true. Yeah. Now, Mr. Big, he's presumably called Mr. Big after
He is,
Sex and
yes,
the City.
he is Mr. Big.
He's very well behaved.
He is.
He's very good.
Well, there are a lot of dog training tips in the book.
There are, actually.
It's sort of the rules meets Barbara Woodhouse.
For sure, for sure. So you've said, you know, one of the things that you've learned from your dog is don't chase a man. They should be chasing you.
Absolutely.
You should never go after them.
Yes, don't give up things when you get a man. You know, keep doing everything that you were doing before and keep your own life. You know, they shouldn't be the most important thing in your life.
And when you meet a chap, don't try and change him, because I know a lot of women do that. We like to change their clothes, but that's obvious, you know, because their dress sense is usually not very good. But don't change him.
No, I think it's kind of, it is an interesting point that we sort of sometimes, you know, that lots of girlfriends I know, they're very attracted to alpha males and sort of love this big stag standing there with his horns and then want to take him home and make him My Little Pony. And I think you should leave them how they are, you know, it's like the things that you're attracted to in the first place.
Exactly. Don't change that. Don't change that. Now, let him do what he wants to do, and Mr. Big wants to obviously have a look around the studio, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to argue with him. It's absolutely fine. But don't criticise them too much, and that goes for the same with dogs, doesn't it? Because they don't like it. I mean, you've got to be firm.
Absolutely.
But you don't want to be...
I definitely do this with Big. I mean, he's not behaving perfectly well today, but I definitely... I praise him when he does good things instead of nagging him. Like this morning, he's not allowed on the sofa. So he was in his basket this morning and I came out and I was like, good boy in your basket. And we start the day like that by praising
rather than
behaviour,
a negative thing.
Rather than dragging him off the couch and going, get on the floor. And it works. It just works really well because he likes, I think men and dogs, both, they're sort of task orientated. They like being set tasks and completing them.
Sure,
so,
exactly.
You know,
so be nice to them.
Be nice to them, yes.
Be nice to them.
I
Tell
love
them when they're
men
doing
and
well.
dogs. So
well, you do. Well, that comes through in the
criticism.
book. No, it's not. It's not. And I mean, there was a TV programme about that, about training men like dogs, and I didn't particularly like that because that's not what we're saying. It's a lot of it is very, very positive. Yeah. Now, I love the comparisons you've done. George Clooney is. What do you think he looks like? He looks like this, a Samoyed.
A Samoyed, yes.
Do you think?
Well, I think he's such a show dog, and he's beautiful.
He is a show dog.
He sort of likes being looked at.
He does.
And they're just slightly, they're a bit independent and hard to train, though, which I think might be true of George as well.
That's a very self-satisfied face that Simon's got on there. Like an Afghan hound?
Yes, he is. I think, again, you know, independent, hard to train, but very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful, Simon.
And, well, we did put the question, and it was, Jude Law was the poodle.
He is a bit of a poodle, I think. Poodles thrive on attention. They like praise and applause, and they're a bit egotistical, so I sort of thought he's a bit of a poodle.
Exactly. High maintenance.
High maintenance,
high maintenance, that's for sure.
I think so.
Well, I think I loved it. I think it's very, very funny. Everything I know about men, I learnt from my dog. Clare, thank you.
Thank you
and thank
very
you to
much.
Mr. Big. You behaved beautifully. It's not
bad,
easy in a studio, that's for sure. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
The footy's starting, love.
LK Today, sponsored by Dove Bath.